I would like to talk a little bit about resistance and feeling alive. There's something I notice. I personally don't like it when things are too easy. They feel too smooth. I feel like I'm not experiencing them. And I think that resistance, and I'm talking very abstractly now, can be something that can really make you feel alive. I think at some point Alan Watts said, if you hold up your finger and there's nothing really, there's nothing touching it or there's no wind blowing on it, you don't really feel that it's there. And I think that's a good analogy for when it comes to feeling alive. Is there has to be something giving some sort of stimulus. So, for example, a nice feeling is you lay in bed and you feel the soft fabric. Maybe the sun is a little bit on your bed and it's giving it like a nice kind of warmth. Believe it or not, but that's resistance as well, because there's some fabric touching your skin. There's some temperature doing something to your skin as well. You can't really smell anything that has no odor, so those pleasant smells of like maybe your favorite food or something, you can smell them because there is a certain resistance in your receptors. And even when you do something that's maybe more mental, maybe more intellectual, if you're listening to, let's say, a lecture about a topic that you already know about, for a lot of people, it will be boring. You want something new, you want something, some sort of stimulus. But when it's new, you have to work at it, you have to really listen, you have to really try and absorb it. That's that's resistance as well. Because there's something that's coming in that can't really just smoothly pass through. It has to go through a certain filter. You put on that filter because you really want to take it. Like, imagine a coffee filter. The coffee comes through, but the grind, it stays. That's what you want. You want the grind. You want something to stick. So there has to be a little bit of resistance. And now I've been talking about pleasant things, but I just wanna just briefly mention that, well, we know people that do things that are very hard or maybe very unpleasurable, at least we think, and then those people say it's the best thing I've done. Because when you, for example, run a marathon, you are alive. You are really feeling things in the whole of your body. Mentally, you're struggling, you're resisting, and physically you are. I think that's why people do it. And I don't want to glorify resistance for those people who are in a tough spot. Because what I've been talking about are the moments that you choose the resistance, right? But some people, they don't choose it. And there's so much resistance and there's so much strive and struggle that they kind of want and maybe even need to have things go smoothly for once. And that's perfectly fine as well. The point of this video is not to glorify resistance. It's just to point out that there's something to it. That there is something that makes life complete if there's sometimes struggle. Well, no, not struggle. Resistance. If you imagine, well, you don't have to imagine actually. I can think of an example. Seneca wrote this in his letters to Lucilius. He talks of a man who he is so wealthy, he doesn't do anything himself. He even lets other people put him in the bathtub. And at some point, apparently, this man asked, "Am I in the water?" He was so, everything for him was going so smoothly that he wasn't even aware of what was going on. That's why we have senses. We see things, we hear things, we feel things. You are aware of things going on. Outside of yourself, inside of yourself. That's life. When you don't have that, you might as well just be considered not alive. That's kind of the conclusion that Seneca has as well about this really wealthy person. I kind of would like to know in the comments if people have had similar thoughts about, these kinds of topics, or whether like you're the complete opposite. And please tell me your reasoning, because I want to learn. I want to feel that resistance, right? A different opinion. Well, at least the opinion that I have at this point in time. Yeah, maybe you have examples of something where you felt resistance, but in the end it felt good. But if there's examples of the opposite where it didn't make you feel alive, and that's good too, because I think it's important to be nuanced about these things. And the moment that we get into a conversation, not a debate, please no debate. If we get into a conversation, we can help each other to become a little more nuanced. which takes work, but I think it's worth it. Thank you.